Hello everyone, my name is Marius and I'm going to quickly show you around Nextplot, which is a CLI tool that we just recently open sourced, and you can find it on our GitHub. So just head over to the repository. You will also find all the installation instructions, which is just pip install Nextplot. The typical use case is you have a solution file that you didn't really see before, and you just want to visualize the routes that are contained in it, for example, in this case. So this one, you can see, includes a number of options, configuration of the model, etc., version of the solver, things that we're not really interested in at this point. We're actually only interested in the routes, so we can find them within solutions apparently, then vehicles, and then there's route. So that is good. That is what we need. So we simply need to tell Nextplot to visualize this. So entering route mode and first telling Nextplot that the file that we're interested in is solution.json, and then next we're gonna tell it where the routes are. So the JSON path to the route is actually solutions, and solutions is a list, but we're only interested in the last solution. And then we have vehicles. Here we're interested in all vehicles because we wanna, each vehicle is a route basically. And then it's just route, and next we need to tell it where the x coordinate lives within a route basically. So each element is stop.location.long, and then we also need to tell it obviously the y coordinate, which is simply stop.location.lat, and that is all. And it's as simple as that to generate a plot of the map basically, or plot of the routes on a map. Another thing maybe outlined quickly is that we get some basic route statistics here. Obviously Nextplot doesn't really know about any kind of notion that the solver or the model had about the like route length, for example. So it simply applies some header sign and outputs like kilometers and so on, but can still be useful to know how many stops were in a route, etc. And anyway, we're really interested in all these different files that it writes out. Let me quickly show you the plot PNG, and the plot HTML is actually the same, just the interactive version. And this is not, the map file is actually what we're really interested in. This is not very amazing, but still very useful when you don't have latitude, longitude coordinates, but simply like coordinates in a warehouse, for example, that are not geolocation or geocoded. So yeah, anyway, so for that it's useful. Anyway, for us here, since we have those, we can head over to the actual map, and that is what we're mostly interested in here. So yeah, it's as quick as that. We have a visualization of all 5 of our routes apparently that were in this file. This OpenStreetMap tile layer gives a lot of context information, but I find it a little bit too much for the eye to look at, especially for very large output files with a lot of routes in them. And I really prefer this view. So with a high contrast, you can easily see where the routes are and what they look like. And yeah, that is the visualization basically. What I find very useful is that you can actually click on all these stops and you get the contextual information basically. So for each of these stops, there's further information in this output file, like the end time and start time, which is like ETAs, when you arrive at the stop and when you leave the stop, or are done processing it. And that can be very useful, for example, if you wonder why a stop is where it is, and then you realize that, for example, if you have the window information on here, like a hard window in which the stop needs to be serviced, and then you can better tell why it's where it's at, for example. And obviously other things as well. So you will have that contextual information in this plot.